My name is Alexandra Loredo. The topic I chose is exceptionality. The definition is specific to this category of school-aged children who are usually referred, tested to determine eligibility, and then placed in educational special programs, which we call gifted and talented and students with disabilities. Why did I choose this topic? All children have the right to reach their full potential. I believe I would have trouble understanding how it works when it comes to teaching children with disabilities. I feel like they need more attention from me, and I will have to leave my other students alone. I don't have the patience to keep my focus on one specific child and keep them away from harm. I believe I will not provide the right educational needs for them. I understand this comes with experience, but will still feel uncomfortable. I am a kinesiology major, and students with disabilities play an important role when it comes to physical education. For any child, physical education should mean more than watching from the sidelines or keeping score. The health and social benefits that our children receive from physical activity may be even more important to those children with disabilities. For students with disabilities, physical activity can control and restore progression of chronic disease and premuscular strength and control body weight as well as psychological well-being. Success for the students with learning disabilities requires focused individual achievement, individual progress, and individual learning. This requires specific, direct, individualized, intensive remedial instructions for students who are struggling. Can we organize PE activities so all pupils can participate? This would depend how we organize activities in the environment where they will take place. I would have to consider the various factors that can affect the pupil's ability to participate in physical education activities. I have to recognize how physical education activities can be adapted to better suit the child. I have to identify the resources that they can help me learn more about this area. I know today we separate students with disabilities from other students, and I don't think it's right. How do we expect for them to integrate and let other students see everybody can participate? I know I'm not ready to teach children with disabilities at this time, but I would love to learn a lot more and hopefully as years go by, I can have the experience to help them with their disability through physical education. I want to be able to help them and get better as they go through each step. I want to be that teacher, that coach that everybody wants on the court. Now I will talk about my reflection on my experience. I got to interview my teacher, well, my softball coach from high school. He is in charge of going to every middle school, elementary, high school, and have PE with children with disabilities. His job is not that easy, but he told me he loves it. He loves working with children with disabilities. He said that he has it takes a lot of patience. You need to get to know each individual by itself. You need to know what they have. And like I said before, you need to learn what they can do and what they can't do. But at the same time, you want to try to get everybody to participate in the same thing. If you're playing soccer, you're going to want to put everybody, even somebody who's in a wheelchair, to play soccer some way. You don't want, he told me that when there's a group, no matter what game you're going to play, you want everybody to participate. You gotta find a way. You gotta think outside the box. These children take a lot of time. Not every children is gonna like you as a coach because you don't know what's going on. You don't know what it's going through their mind. Maybe you know what they can do because of their physical appearance, but maybe their mind or the way they think is very different. My experience with him because during high school I was able to attend one of their practices because not practice, it was a practice, but it was during their class period when they were practicing for the Border Olympics, and I was like, I wish I could have that experience where I went to Border Olympics, but I couldn't because I was testing that day. But when I was there helping him practice, not everybody wanted to do it. There was this kid, his name was Michael, and Michael was misbehaving. Instead of running or walking with everybody around the track, he was going inside the field and throw himself. And it was like, oh my God, like, I don't want to hurt them and I don't want him to get mad at me. And it was like, don't worry, Alex. Coach told me, don't worry, I got it. So he went to him and he talked to him and he's like, what's wrong, Michael? Why are you not listening to me? Or why are you not listening to your teachers? What's wrong? Is something hurting? Are you injured? Do you need to go to the restroom? Do you need water? And he was just asking questions, trying to figure out, trying to calm him down. Maybe he needed something, or maybe he was just being it was one of those times where the children they just lose it. And the way I saw him taking control, I was like, wow, like he has a lot of practice in this. And it made me realize that it wasn't easy. It wasn't. He was able to walk up to him and not be afraid that he would just stab on him. But this is when, again, you get to know your students. You get to know why they act this way or why are they doing this way. And I know children with disabilities, they don't ask for attention. They don't. Sometimes it just comes on naturally. And you have to pay attention to them because they, like I said, they can be here and the second they're not. And being a coach, I mean, you gotta put them to walk or run, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, um, play frisbee, throw the ball. And how can you do that when they don't want to? But Coach Castillo, he showed me that it can be really easy if you love the job. You gotta love being with them. You gotta be enthusiastic. You gotta be happy. You gotta show them that you care for them. And no matter what, just keep on pushing them, but in a good way where, come on, you can do it. Look, look, look. Good job. High five. It's like a regular student. A regular student feels happy. You feel good when somebody tells you, good job. You did it good. Like, yeah, man, like that was awesome. I mean, imagine how we feel, imagine how they feel, even though maybe they won't understand the words. But when it comes to like a high school level or elementary, a high five, what does that mean? It means you did it good. Yeah, you did a good job. And that's what I want to be able to do as a coach. I want to be able to control my regular students and be able to see that they understand what I'm saying. So in that way I can move on and teach my disability students. Maybe in a different way. But how I'm thinking like how can I teach my regular students and then they don't listen to me? How can I go to my disability students when my regular students they don't listen to me? How do I expect them to listen to me? That's my problem. I want to be able to work with both groups and expect them to listen to me. I maybe I would have topic, but my experience, what I learned from my experience was that no matter what, you don't give up on children. No matter if they're regular or disability students, everybody needs a good job or a pat on the back, and that's what increases their um, self confidence. And you just gotta push your students. That's it. You gotta show that you care again, that you're gonna be that extra hand they need. My opinions over this topic is that I'm ready. I want to take that challenge. I do. I cannot be scared. I cannot show them that I'm scared if I'm gonna work with students with disabilities because they can sense it. And if you're scared, it's not gonna be pretty good. And I do want to work with students with disabilities because they're not that bad. It's just you need to love them. You need to love your job. You need to understand them and understand how they work. My connections with the classroom, I don't know, Dr. Lewis, you are a great teacher. And what I've seen is whatever you teach us, you put it into play when it comes to teaching us. And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to have my students play an important role in my life or make them feel they play an important role, that every single one of them count. And it's like maybe like having one-on-ones or talking to them, like my coaches. We would have practice. They would be really strict with us. They would be like, oh my God, you don't want to mess around with them. But when it came after practice, they had open doors. If we needed help, we had questions, we needed someone to talk to, we needed anything. They would have open doors. And it would feel great. And I think that's what I want my students to feel. I don't want them just to feel that I'm a teacher, but that I'm a friend they can count on. And maybe I cannot get involved too much involved in their personal life, but if there's any way I could help, I would do it. And I think that's what you mean by making connections with the classroom, or maybe you mean connections with what we're learning in the classroom. But all I can say is that I want to be a teacher, I want to be a coach, and I want to make impact on students' life, no matter who it is. I want them to be better and I want them to be good citizens.